Ah, my back is killing me.
Why? What happened?
Because I've been carrying everyone else's pain. Maybe you can relate. Mended light. All right, why? Why do we do this? Why do we carry? Because it really feels to me, Alicia, like we all have enough to manage on our own.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
Why do we carry others' pain and what do we do about it?
Okay. So we're human. We're wired for connection. We need it. But connection so often and so easily becomes codependency.
Yeah.
When we think codependency is love, that can be a really big one. Many of us carry others' pain because we learned that love was conditional. And we show up in this space of, if I fix you, maybe you'll love me. Or if I serve and support and take care of you enough, maybe you'll love me, right? And that's when we create this, I'm trying to earn my worth and my belonging and acceptance. And I'm trying to earn my place in my life. And if I love you enough and you need me enough, maybe I'll get loved in return. I have no experience with this whatsoever. I mean, it's just how I showed up in my entire life.
Oh dear. Well, when you talk about if I love and serve and meet needs enough, maybe I'll finally get reciprocation. Or at least maybe I'll get love, but for often people that's in the form of reciprocation, right?
Yeah.
I've got an example of this from the movie Tangled with Rapunzel and Mother Gothel. Let's take a look and we'll break it down.
Hey, one moment, Mother. I have a big surprise. I do too. Oh, I bet my surprise is bigger. I seriously
Well, Rapunzel's got a man knocked out in the closet.
I brought back pasta.
Hit him with a frying pan.
I'm going to make hazelnut soup for dinner. Your favorite surprise.
Well, Mother, there's something I want to tell you.
Oh, Rapunzel, you know I hate leaving you after a fight, especially when I've done absolutely nothing wrong.
Okay, I've been thinking a lot about what you said earlier.
I hope you're not still talking about the stars.
Floating lights, and yes, I'm leading up to that.
Because I really thought we dropped the issue, sweetheart.
No, Mother, I'm just saying, you think I'm not strong enough to handle myself out there.
Oh, darling, I know you're not strong enough to handle yourself out there.
But if you just...
Rapunzel, we're done talking about this.
Trust me.
Rapunzel.
I know what
Rapunzel.
Oh, come on.
Enough of the lights, Rapunzel. You are not leaving this tower. Ever.
Oh.
That escalated quickly. And then, of course, classic line here.
Oh, great. Now I'm the bad guy.
So much manipulation.
And gaslighting, that's rough.
She really wants to see the lights, so now she's going to do a manipulation of her own.
All I was gonna say, Mother, is that I know what I want for my birthday now.
And what is that?
New paint. The paint made from the white shells you once brought me.
Well, that is a very long trip, Rapunzel. Almost 3 days' time.
I just thought it was a better idea than the stars.
You sure you'll be all right on your own?
I know I'm safe as long as I'm here.
A lot of relationships look like this. And, you know, if you take a few seconds of this in isolation, there are moments where it's like, oh, what a loving, beautiful mother-daughter relationship. But
There's concern.
Yeah.
There's connection.
But codependency is one person needs the other, and then the other person needs to be needed. Rapunzel needs her mother to survive. At least that's how she's been trained and conditioned to believe you can't survive on your own. You can't fend for yourself. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. And Mother Gothel needs to be needed. This feeds her ego. Now there's a plot point as well that she needs the hair and all this stuff.
Right.
But if you don't have that magical plot point in a real life relationship, what this looks like is controlling this person and keeping them down while portraying myself as this loving, benevolent figure. It means I'm not alone. And it means that I am seen as good and virtuous. But what happens is Rapunzel, in her case, she's constantly chasing, maybe this time it'll be enough that I can have what I want. Maybe this time it'll be enough that my needs are going to matter. And the bar just keeps getting moved.
Well, and it's an interesting dichotomy where you have this hero persona, right? But then the hero so quickly becomes also the victim.
Yeah.
And you switch between them. And when you have that manipulation, like you don't have a hero without also being a victim. And when you start seeing that play out, you're like, oh my gosh, that is so toxic and so unsupportive. But the clarity of why starts to come out.
So Alicia, how can we move out of this in a supportive way?
Yeah. Well, it's about shifting the dynamic from conditional love to unconditional love.
Yeah.
And helping people experience safe, healthy relationships in unconditional dynamics. And so quite often, if you are in a relationship with someone where there's manipulation and gaslighting, and there's this hero-victim dynamic, it's not going to just magically switch to something healthy. Like, you need safe spaces, and you need to learn what healthy actually looks like and what it actually feels like, and what unconditional love looks and feels like. And in that, those safe relationships, worth is not tied to performance or sacrifice. And one small step that you can do to support yourself in making different choices is placing your hand on your heart and whispering or telling yourself, I am worthy of love without carrying everyone else's pain. And you will feel your body begin to soften, and you will feel the shift within yourself. And that is taking that step into awareness and that step into intention of, oh, I want to create something else in my relationships.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about awareness and intention. When we fully start to become aware of how we've been contributing to our own pain, it's easy to meet ourselves with judgment. How could I be so stupid? How could I be so foolish? How could I perpetuate or be part of this problem? And that's where we really need to step into compassion and understanding and say, hey, there was a reason I did that. There was a reason Rapunzel had these perspectives of herself and of her mother and of her relationship, and why she participated for so long.
Yeah.
But just like Rapunzel, it got to a point where something within her said, this isn't right. This isn't supportive anymore, and I need to make a different choice.
Another way to break free from the pain that you're carrying that isn't yours is to recognize that your body itself is holding what isn't yours. It's not just psychological or emotional. And to that, I should add, it is emotional, but it's not just emotional, because stress lives in the body.
Yeah.
It's stored in the body. All of our feelings live right here, not just right here. Many of us unconsciously absorb others' pain until it becomes our own tension, our own anxiety, or our own illness. So healthy ways to move out of this must include somatic awareness, which is learning to notice sensations and separating what is mine from what is theirs. So differentiation is the ability to balance caring enough to be invested and involved and compassionate, while being healthily detached enough that what another person is feeling is not what you're feeling. I've got a great example of this. Early on in our marriage, I came back from work, and not too early on, but we had a couple kids by then, and I came back from work, and you had had a full day with kids.
Yeah.
And they were being kids, but they were pressing buttons, they were being disobedient, and
it was chaotic.
And
they had a lot of energy. I was exhausted.
And I came in and I saw you kind of at the end of your rope, and then I just matched your energy. And I'm like, all right, guys, listen up. This needs to happen. That needs to happen. You need to shape up, get in order, stop treating your mom like that. And you pulled me aside.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying something to the effect of, I don't need you to feel what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You've been gone all day, so you're coming fresh off the bench when it comes to parenting. What I need from you is to calmly and affectionately love them, play with them, help them get ready for bed, and get them to bed.
Right. Like you being frustrated and angry because I'm frustrated and angry. That's not what needs to happen here.
And this was a lesson in differentiation for me, because what I thought you needed was me to back you up and meet you where you were at. And it's like, no. Another good example that I like to use is a paramedic. I don't need a panicked paramedic when I am injured and panicked. I need somebody who cares enough to be present, to be assuring, and to help with my problem, but also detached enough that if I'm freaking out, they're calm.
Yeah.
And so this is somatic awareness, that what another is experiencing doesn't have to be my experience. Next is to reclaim choice instead of obligation.
Yeah. So what does that mean, to reclaim choice instead of obligation? So here's the thing. Freedom comes when we begin to realize that we don't have to carry burdens others have intentionally or unintentionally given us. Over caretaking is often a survival strategy that once kept us safe and now drains us. And this is a little bit challenging to differentiate, because we're taught to be kind, we're taught to be compassionate, we're taught to be considerate. But at the same time, where is that line between being compassionate, considerate, caring, and saying, hey, that isn't my responsibility? This was for sure one of my coping mechanisms. This was absolutely one of the ways I created safety. And, well, I created perceived safety for myself through trying to earn acceptance and worth and belonging. And so a couple things that have really helped me, besides just becoming aware of it and showing up in my daily life and being like, oh, look, there's a worth tie here. Oh, here's how I'm trying to earn, my worth and acceptance and belonging. And the intention behind our behavior, the intention behind our words really, really matters.
Yeah.
But a couple of guiding principles that really supported me is I am responsible for what I say, think, do. And other people are responsible for what they say, think, and do.
Yeah.
And even just a simple example of this, and you know this dynamic, I am confident, I'm intelligent, I'm hardworking, fairly attractive, whatever it may be. And so there are times when women feel insecure around me, not because I'm trying to create a dynamic, but just because that can...
You exist as you.
I exist as me. There was a period of my life when I didn't even understand what was going on. And then in my 20s, I began to understand what was going on. And then there was about a decade of my life where I would say things like, oh, I make women feel uncomfortable. And at some point in my 30s, I was like, oh, wait, I am not responsible for how someone else feels.
Yeah.
If they have that response towards me, and I know my intentions are not unkind, and I'm not trying to create like an I'm better than you dynamic, like I'm just showing up as me. And sometimes people feel insecure, and particularly women. And I get it, and it's totally understandable, right? Like that's just being human. But I stopped saying, oh, I make women feel uncomfortable. And I said, sometimes women feel uncomfortable around me.
Well, because you might feel to apologize for who you are, or to change who you are, what you do, or how you show up to make others comfortable.
Right.
And I think it's crucial. Like we can be responsible if we're not making good faith efforts to be respectful or kind or considerate, and then others are upset or their feathers are ruffled. That is on us. But if we're making those good faith efforts, we're not responsible for how other people respond. And I teach people this all the time in therapy when they're trying to find just the right way to say something. And I always say, make a good faith effort to do right by them, but then their response is not your responsibility.
Everybody's walking around with insecurities, with wounds, with vulnerabilities, right? And the way someone chooses to protect themselves or defend themselves or whatever it may be, right? And so exactly what you were saying of like, hey, I intentionally try to understand people, right? I intentionally seek to build bridges. There was a good portion of my life where I took responsibility for what other people were saying and feeling and doing. I use that redirection. And another redirection I use is, oh, I love you and I care about you, but I also love me and I care about me. Also, for a long time, I didn't give myself and my needs an equal seat at the table. It was, okay, put everybody else first. And then if there's anything left over, like
I can have the scraps.
I can have the scraps, right? And when you show up in your life that way and you experience the fruits of planting those seeds, and you're like, well, why is there never time for me? Why is there never energy for me? And it's like, oh, I am a part of creating this dynamic, right?
And I can create something new.
I can create something new. And of course, I didn't set out with the intention of creating that dynamic. It was a symptom of trying to earn worth and acceptance and belonging.
Yeah.
So how do we make these shifts? Watching videos like ours, paying attention to what's going on in your life, asking yourself questions. But I love this question. Write down one place in your life where you've been saying yes out of guilt, obligation, or you feel like you have to do something because you should or you're supposed to. And instead, come from a place of peace and joy and abundance and practice saying, I choose not to, or I don't have the bandwidth for that. And include yourself and your needs as an equitable seat at the table.
Now, assuming this speaks to you, that means you carry trauma. You're carrying the pain of others because you've been through some hardship. We have a free tool for you, a trauma reset kit that dives even deeper into these principles and how to apply them so that when you are triggered, you can find your center again. The link is here on the screen and in the description. Let us know what resonated most with you today and how you let go of the pain of others that you are carrying. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Until next time, folks, keep shining.
We need your light.